U.S.-Canada trade relations were already tense, but they may be about to get a lot more tense. The stage is set tonight for a beer war. It's just a matter of time, perhaps a matter of hours. Unless there's a last-minute settlement, Washington will hit first. It will hit Canadian brewers with new tariffs, penalty duties. Washington says U.S. beer makers don't get a fair shake in Canada, so it's retaliating against Canadian beer sold in the States. The only question tonight, how hard will it hit? Here's Terry Molesky.
New American duties could wipe out the profits on $200 million worth of Canadian beer that is exported each year to the U.S. The U.S. Trade Representative is expected to announce tomorrow that last-minute negotiations have failed and that new tariffs will add as much as $4 a case to Canadian beer.
Well, it'll wipe out any profit we make in the U.S. We'll probably have to sell the beer that we've got contracted at a loss.
This could well come into a beer war.
Bill Outman is a Washington lawyer for Strohs beer, which is pressing this case to expand its sales in Canada. Strohs, among others, complains that Canada's too slow in dropping provincial barriers which keep out foreign beer. Ottawa's agreed to phase out those barriers, but too slowly for Washington's liking. A final offer to do it over 2 years was rejected by U.S. brewers who claim that Canada won't budge.
The Canadian government basically said, we're not prepared to consider any further options. Do what you wish to do.
Officially, the U.S. Trade Representative's office is saying nothing until tomorrow, but word of the breakdown in the talks spread fast. So fast that the chief of the U.S. Beer Wholesalers Association is already threatening to sue his own government. His members make good money distributing Canadian beer. Their profit, too, will be wiped out by new duties.
The problem now is, instead of trying to work out some reasonable accommodation between the two countries, we see this running around with a big stick, which I think is foolish. And I think it also impacts adversely on any future negotiations, trade negotiations with Mexico.
Indeed, yet another trade dispute between Canada and the U.S. would give free trade another black eye, which is why tonight some parties here are still hoping that the White House may step in at the very last minute to at least soften tomorrow's announcement. President Bush could, for example, reduce the amount of the extra duties, and he could drop a threat to make them retroactive. But few here expect him to do any better than that, so it looks like the beer war is on.